Black Alpha Network. Home of Black excellence. Power to the people.
B1s, Certified Black Society, Foundational Black Americans. Let's go.
It took an all-white jury less than a half hour to find Muhammad Ali guilty of all charges and specifications. He was sentenced to the maximum, 5 years in prison, and was fined $10,000.
Things is movies, commercials, advertisements, endorsements, and even the heavyweight championship of the world. This is all about to me if I would only give up my belief, if I would only deny the honorable Elijah Muhammad and the truth that God has given to me.
Why should me and other so-called Negroes go 10,000 miles away from home here in America?
New Black Media Alert, broadcasting live from the Black Alpha Network. I am Black Alpha 6, representing Foundational Black America, representing Certified Black Society, and keeping it B1 on the daily. I hope y'all all doing well. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your energy. One love. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Bang them notifications. We coming, we working, we building, we grinding. Getting to the bag. And there's a lot we have to unpack today. So we're going to have a productive B1 conversation. And y'all know how it is right here on the BAN. This is a no coon zone. It's B1 Certified Black Society. That's it. That's all. We're going to break it down from start to finish, beginning to end, and everything in between. We ain't going to leave nothing unturned. Everything on the table. Because what we have to do is we got to stand together. We got to stand strong. That's the number one goal that Black Americans have to do. Because that other side, they in full code red. Code red. The dominant society is shook the fuck up right now. Because we come in with an energy that they've never seen before. I'm going to keep saying it. And y'all know because y'all keep saying it, we keep feeling it because we keep producing it. Certified Black Society has the whole game shook. It hit different nowadays. It hits different nowadays. If there was ever a time to be a foundational Black American, right now is the goddamn time. Right now is the time because things are changing and we are the ones on the forefront of that. You know, we are the ones who are making the change, not talking, not getting on the fucking computer and reading the goddamn book, not going back in time and talking about Egypt and Kemet. No, I'm talking about today. Right here today, foundational Black Americans are working, grinding, building, and putting on a show. And everybody shook from post to post. We got people on the other side of that ocean mad at us. Oh yeah, you got people right now in a damn village in a whole nother continent talking about FBA. Fuck them damn FBAs. I want their money though. Give me their reparations. You ain't getting shit. And everything they throw at us, we rejecting ASAP. Quick, fast, in a hurry. So this is why it's all time, and this is why this is the best time, and that's why we're going to make the most of it. We're going to shut shit down. We're going to build brothers and sisters, kings, queens, the goddess, and the gods. We in full effect. We're going to stand tall. And the road to getting everything that belongs to us, and the road of collecting everything that is owed to us, and on the road of standing on the shoulders of our ancestors, it doesn't start now. It's already started, and we just living it up. So keep on balling. Facts. Today, we're going to talk about being a foundational Black American, living in an anti-race war, and why it's keen that we look out for us. Only us, for us, by us. If you ain't us, you can hit the motherfucking road. That's the motto. That's the principle. That's what we on. And I know all my certifieds and B1s are on the same page. You know how many times I come across foundational Black Americans, and our motto is get the fuck out our way, let us handle our own business. But see, people cannot let us handle our own business because they so goddamn jealous. Jealousy is a motherfucker. Jealousy is a motherfucker. Jealousy breeds fear. Fear breeds insecurity. Insecurity breeds cowards. And that's who you see coming after us every day. Get up in the morning, flip through your goddamn timeline, and all you see is somebody else from somewhere else coming at foundational Black Americans. And we don't even care. There used to be a time where that shit would get Black folks all emotional. Them days is done. Black folks ain't on the emotion wave no more. B1s, we corrected that. Black folks ain't on the marching and praying wave no more. No, B1s corrected that. Black folks ain't on the forgiving, the turning the other cheek, the hoping for a better day tomorrow, the I had a dream shit, the yes we can shit. Nope, gone. B1s corrected that. And everything we touch, it's got that stamp on it. And anytime we put our stamp on something, they feel us, feel it strong. I always spend a lot of time talking about how strong we are because we got a whole motherfucking world out here. And I don't just mean America. I don't just mean the dominant society. I'm talking about everybody. Everybody participates and practices anti-black racism. And some even exclusively participate in anti-foundational black American racism. We got motherfuckers coming up with their own version of racism to fuck with us. Ain't that something? You know we run shit. You know we in their head rent free. We got them hot and bothered. They coming up with new words, new terms, and all that. Do you ever stop and think about how much money is spent just to keep foundational black Americans down? Do you even really think about that shit? If you took like 2 minutes of your day just to think about all the resources that are spent to keep us down, America would be in a whole nother position globally if they didn't spend so much time, energy, effort, money, and resources just to oppress our asses. You feel me? If America ever put that shit to the side, America will go to new heights the world's never seen. It'd be an empire on a whole nother level. But they don't do it because they are so concerned with keeping foundational black Americans in check. And I look at that as a compliment. Whole motherfucking yeah. Hey, you can call it what you want. But the fact that the biggest country and the biggest empire and the most powerful nation in the world literally handcuffs their own self because they worried about us 48 million. Ain't that a motherfucker? We the third populace in this country. And they spending all this money to keep us down. Been doing it for 400 years. Who does that tell you they're afraid of? Who does that tell you they shook by? Who does that tell you that they know who's about that life? Us. You got groups that have more people than us. And they don't spend $1 on them. Because they're docile. They don't even handle their own business. They bow down. They swinging on our coattails. Put it this way, how we say all these other groups are tethers and they try to swing on our coattails to get our shit, then you know the dominant society ain't spending $1 on them. Not at all. $2 tellers. Ain't nobody worried about them. But when it comes to us, they've done everything humanly possible to keep foundational black Americans back. And I got 2 statements for that. And they both show you the greatness of foundational black Americans. One, they done spent all that money, shit ain't work. They couldn't hold us back during slavery, during Reconstruction, Civil Rights era, and they know damn well they can't hold us back during the B1 era. That's us. 2, they know deep down inside, when we are on our game, when we are on our code, when we working and grinding together as a team, as a unit, we control the narrative. And he who controls the narrative controls the country. And that's what they see happening right now. It's slipping away. And it's all solely, hold up, listen to me, hear me right now. This is the facts. It is all solely, directly, and exclusively because of us. If you represent B1, if foundational black American is your lineage, if you are a certified black CBS, then it's because of you. And you are the reason why we control the narrative. And you are the reason why the black race is going up. And everybody's gonna sit the fuck back and watch it. Now, whether they like it or not, that's their motherfucking problem. That's a personal. But what's gonna happen is this shit gonna take off with or without their ass. So B1s, y'all stay on y'all game and we gonna break it all down right here. Let's unpack why it's all about us and why they can't do a damn thing about it. We work together. All of us, we work together. And that's the thing about this era. Black folks is pushing. If you do not believe it, look around you. The signs are all there. It's on you to see it. If you see it crystal clear, then you understand. If you don't, you better keep on fucking looking. Black folks are exclusive in every area right now. That's why I say it's the best time to be a certified black. It's the best time to be a foundational black American. If you want to build and you really trying to be on code, if you need somebody, go get them. We strong in all areas. We heavy on every front. We got work on every block. If you want to build with somebody, you got black folks in education. You got black folks who are strong in economics. You got black folks who are strong in self-defense. There's literally a strong certified B1 everywhere. Y'all remember when you couldn't find one B1? It was hard as fuck. Motherfuckers was doing the stanky leg, the nay, pop, lock, and dropping. They wasn't giving a fuck about being on code. That shit's different. Because the B1s then, the small group, they won the battle then and brought in what we have now. Feel me? Check this out. If you understand how the game works and you understand history, look how it was. If you're old enough to remember a couple years ago when black folks was asleep, they didn't give a damn. Black folks was running around here talking about something. Barack Obama, he's gonna save us. They was running that con game. Let me ask you this. Do you think that Barack Obama shit would work today? The Kamala Harris shit didn't work today. You had a bunch of Sambos who sucked that shit up. But right now, them Sambos who sucked it up is hiding under their fucking desk and they don't even want to talk politics no more because we got race receipts on their ass. So did it work? Fuck no. Think about all the coon sucker shit, the Caucus, Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton. Think about everything that all those civil rights Negroes got away with 10, 15, 20 years ago. Do you think that shit would fly today? If your answer is no, then you are correct. Fuck no would be even better because it does not go on. Why doesn't it go on? Because there was B1s and certifieds even in the midst of black folks sleeping. There was B1s and certifieds saying, nah, we got to do something about this. We got to change this. We got to get some real black agenda, some real certified energy going. And what did they do? They did. And that gave breed to today. They paved the way. Everybody that we salute, all of our ancestors, they're not just from 50, 60, 70 years ago. They're not just slaves. We got people that aren't here right now that were here just in 2008, 2007. And we're holding it down and we're waving the flag for FBA. It's just nobody was listening, but they are now. And we can thank them for it. Our path wasn't just paved by people from years ago. Sometimes the path was paved by the person from yesterday. You understand? And the people from yesterday put this B1 energy in circulation that's brought to you now by us. What are we out here saying? We saying cut the motherfucking check. We saying reparations. We saying foundational black Americans. We letting people know our heritage, our lineage. We let people know we not to be fucked with. And that's all because of the black folks that was repping B1 a few years back, a couple years back. And I salute them thoroughly, because the same way that they pass the baton to us, we gonna pass the baton to the next ones. See, we're gonna do what the civil rights era didn't do. The civil rights era said, we're gonna keep this shit till you pick your pants up. And guess what? Certified black folks, our ancestors, they stepped right over them motherfuckers and said, that ain't happening. Nope. And they created this movement and they created this energy. We're not out here running around repping everything we repping. We're not running around claiming everything we claiming just because it's fun. Somebody put those seeds down. Somebody put a couple bricks into this building and everybody plays their role. It doesn't have to be 1619. It might have been 2019. You feel me? It ain't got to be 1708. It may have been 2008. There was black folks back then saying, don't fall for that Obama shit. Don't fall for the Democrats. A lot of talking points and things that they say today, black folks were saying this shit a couple years ago. But they were against the grain. And how did they handle being against the grain? They united, they stood by each other, and they got on code. So everything that we see today is a result of them being on code then and us being on code now, and the reason why we coming to take what's ours as we proceed. There's a war going on outside. Everybody sees it everywhere you go. Turn on the TV, turn on the news, people at work talking about it. Everybody's speaking about the war. Russia, Ukraine, Russia, the Soviet Union. Well, we're going to get geopolitical today. We're going to talk about geopolitics. We're going to talk about the social ramifications. But I got to tell everybody, and I'm going to throw this out there, new Black Media Alert, we're going to talk this, but we're going to talk it certified Black Alpha Network style, which means no filters, which means no sugarcoating, no tap dancing, straight real. That's how we gonna keep it. Y'all know how I get down. Everybody who knows me, all my day ones and all my riders, you know how I am. I always speak the truth. I always say it real with passion and give y'all really how I feel, straight from my heart, nothing but good, sincere energy, because all of us are real. And when you put a bunch of real certified Black Americans in one room, this is what you get. Unapologetic. And speaking of unapologetic, first thing we need to understand, if we're gonna go there and we're gonna talk geopolitics, we need to understand the role that Black Americans play in this. Really, in all actuality, people have to understand the role that foundational Black Americans have historically played. If you don't understand history, then you'll never understand today. What they say, if you don't understand history, you're doomed to repeat it. I'm going to take that a step further. I'm going to say if you don't understand history, you've already repeated. And a lot of people have already repeated the same mistakes. All that flag waving and I'm a patriot, all that is used to reduce the claims that Black Americans make about reparations. You see it going right now. Anytime Black Americans start talking about reparations, getting money and getting what's owed to us by the slogans that this country uses, then everybody always comes at you with some type of conflict or war so they could say, you're talking about reparations and race right now? We're at war, being American. And I say I am being American. I'm being the American who built this motherfucker. And being the American who built this motherfucker, that means I want my money, cut the check. And we got to stick to it. We got to stay with it. They've thrown everything out there to derail us on our reparations claim and our reparations movement. You got groups running around here talking about something, I'm your mama. And they run around on that sucker shit and they've been exposed. You got motherfuckers coming over here from other countries saying, give me the reparations check. Y'all know. Y'all know how they talk. We see them motherfuckers every day. They get exposed, G-checked at the same time. And then you have the geopolitical motherfuckers in Washington who are running around trying to tell foundational Black Americans and B1s to sit back while we send this and that to conflicts that do not even concern us. And then they tell us to be emotionally invested. I am emotionally invested and get my goddamn money. Anything other than that, not my problem. What I always say right here, y'all know my motto. Sorry, can't help your war. I'm too busy being black. No, I ain't caping for you. I ain't coming for you. I ain't helping you. I'm too busy being black. Shit. That's my black story and I'm sticking to it. So anybody and everybody who wants to know the official position of the Black Alpha Network on this conflict, my official position is that I'm black and I don't give a fuck. That's what it is. And I ain't changing it. And if you feel that upset you and that hurts your feelings and it hurts your patriotism pride, then I suggest you go over there, get a box of Kleenexes and go cry in the car. We'll heat that motherfucker up for you. I'll start the engine and turn on the air. Because that's what it is and it ain't going nowhere. And that's what we got to be on. That's what we got to stick to. That's got to be the belief. Because what is more foolish than a black American being involved in a war where both the groups, both the participants and both the countries are both anti-black? And for that alone, I ain't helping. I'm gonna sit down and do what I always do when things happen that don't concern foundationals. I like to sit back and pop some motherfucking popcorn and just watch TV. I might check in on it and then go back to Netflix. It depends. But I will not be participating. I'll be right there on that fucking couch with my Orville Redenbacher. That's about the extent, man. That's the extent. And everyone tells me how it's such a big deal and black folks need to get concerned and America need to get concerned. How's it such a big deal when America ain't even in the war? Y'all notice how that shit fly over the head? That ain't got nothing to do with us. America's not in the war. That's between Russia and the Ukraine. Last time I checked, Russia and the Ukraine ain't in America. So if the war is so big of a deal, then how come America ain't in it? You would think if it was such a big war like they say it is, America would be involved. The fact that America isn't involved means the war ain't that big. And even if America was involved, it wouldn't have shit to do with foundational black Americans because it ain't our problem. So any black person who shells out energy, time, effort, one little fucking piece of caring, you wasting your time. There used to be black folks back in the day who did the same thing and they got the same treatment. Nothing. Black folks in this country, we paved the way for all these other groups to come and benefit the same way black people in the military have paved the way for other groups to be free. And we get nothing in return. Black folks have fought in every single war in this country and we are still at the bottom. Socially, politically, education, economics, empowerment, equality, home loans, home ownership, the right to a fair trial, and the right to determine your own destiny. You pick a place. And black folks are at the bottom. So I ask, what did all of those black folks who went to war, put it on the line, and made that sacrifice, what did that gain for foundational black Americans, past, present, or future? Zip, zero, nothing. And if that's the case, and that stands true, then why are any black folks out here caping for the Ukraine? Somebody tell me why. Matter of fact, we all know why. It starts with a C, ends with an N, and it rhymes with broom. And they're gonna be doing that shit forever. As long as black folks have been out here fighting for this country, standing on this country, and building this country, there have always been people who try to hide that fact. The contribution of the foundational black American soldier, men and women, has been one of the greatest contributions to this country. Not only did our people, our ancestors, build this country from the inside, they also fought and served for this country on the outside, domestic and abroad. Where nowadays we got people from abroad coming over here disrespecting people who are domestic when black folks built this motherfucker domestically and fought for it abroad. Feel me now. And it's time that they get representation. And they've always tried to hide the soldiers. The contributions have always been hidden. What they say, hidden colors? Well, here's another one. The contribution of the foundational black American and the military and the service goes unmatched. First off, we served in every single war in this country. Second, black folks had not only served in this country, but they did it in a country where they weren't even seen as human beings and did it proudly. Never once did foundational black Americans tuck tail and run. These other people are fleeing their countries today. Why? Because they can't get a fucking job and they'll leave. Some shit pop off and they flying away. Black Americans were in this country going through hell and still put on a damn uniform, saluted the flag, and went and served their people. Don't come here talking about what an American is. Don't come here talking about what a foundational black American is. I'm seeing all these motherfuckers out here saying, what is a foundational black American? Or what's a foundational black American, bro? I'll tell you what it is. A foundational black American is someone who is better than you. That's what it is. Because we've never had to flee. You've never had to run. We never had to pull con games and trick bags and none of that shit. We've stayed true. We've stayed true to the land that we built So the black American should be the most respected person in America, and the black soldier should be the most respected person to ever serve. And neither one of them get their just due or their proper etiquette. Until today. Because we're gonna do it. Because if these motherfuckers don't want to give us what is ours, then we're gonna take what's ours. If a motherfucker ain't gonna rep, then we gonna rep. That's how we gotta be. That's gotta be B1 code. Celebrate ourselves. Celebrate our goddamn selves. We already know the time that they on. Bullshit. And the time that we on is certified. So if they don't do it, we gonna do it. All that Black History Month and all these fucking little holidays and Hip Hop History Day, and man, fuck that. If it ain't made by us and sponsored by us, don't represent it. Never celebrate an oppressor-sponsored holiday, because those holidays are only for the reason why they don't talk about Black Americans. Think about it. You have Veterans Day. Does anybody throw a parade for the Buffalo Soldiers? Does anybody throw a parade for the black soldiers at the Battle of Lake Erie in the War of 1812? Does anybody throw a parade for the 369th Infantry Regiment known as the Harlem Hellfighters in World War I? Nope. But we have holidays that celebrate soldiers, but they don't talk about the black ones. But we have holidays that celebrate veterans, but we don't talk about the black ones. So if the black folks was doing all of this, going to other countries in World War II, putting shit down and liberating other people when they weren't liberated themselves, but everybody else gets all the credit, then why would black folks be caping for anything other than black rights, black empowerment? Make it make sense, because if it don't, we won't. And we could go down the list. But if we went down the list, it'd be a long fucking day. We'd be here for a long time, because black folks have put in so much work in the military and served this country. And as I say, we serve this country. Remember, that's just at war, because while we were at war serving this country, we were right here building this country. Okay? And when the people who served the country came back home, they were treated like people who did not build the country. Make it make sense, because if it don't, we won't. As a matter of fact, America talks about, I'm proud to be an American, land of the free, home of the brave, the goddamn Statue of Liberty, all the slogans, we done heard them before, we all done been put on that. Okay, got it. But the crazy thing is that the first person to die in the Revolutionary War was a black man. His name was Crispus Attucks. Yep. And you would think in a country that has so many freedom slogans and justice and rights and the shining beacon of light for the world and let's go fight in all these other countries while people here at home are poor, while veterans come home and gotta sleep in tents, we giving money to refugees and we giving money to people separated by Trump. You would think that in a country that's got that much pride, the first person would be revered. The dominant society reveres people who did nothing. All those fucking generals and shit in the South, they got monuments today for being treasonous against America. And we putting up big ass monuments of them and naming whole counties over them. But the first person who gave the ultimate sacrifice for America, a black man, he is an afterthought. Matter of fact, are there any monuments, pictures? Do they got a motherfucking poster up of him? Have they even put up a small 3x5 frame of him on the wall somewhere? No. Why? It's because he's black. 2, because it's an anti-black race war. And if you study this, then you've come to find out dictators come and go, wars come and go, armies come and go, navies come and go, conflicts come and go. That shit comes and goes. But the one thing that remains, anti-black race war. Anti-black racism has outlived every war this planet has ever seen. Them motherfuckers come and go. You know, when you are outlasting war, then that is the ultimate war. So if people do not care about the war on black people, which outdates every fucking conflict in the world, if they don't care about the anti-black war that affects us, then why should we care about a war that affects them? Feel me? It's just simple mathematics. That's just the way the game operates. You can get in your feelings, you can feel emotional about it, but at the end of the day, these motherfuckers don't feel emotional when they're coming after us. When they come after us and they hate on us and they pull all these games on us for all these years, they do that shit with a straight face. So when we say, okay, well, we're going to look out for our own self and we're not going to care about your shit, we're going to focus on ours. It's a bad thing? Nah, fuck that. Keep your emotion. We keeping it real. All the way live. And we got all the receipts. There ain't a thing we just said that wasn't true. And reality shows that black Americans have never got their just due for what we've done. So therefore, black Americans can just withdraw. That's how it should be. You shouldn't shell out any energy or emotion for anybody that doesn't have your best interest in heart. And that goes for your individual life and that goes for your community. And I take the same way I operate as a person. If you don't fuck with me as a person, you got a problem with me and I'm just a good-minded man, then fuck you then. Do what you do and I'm gonna do what I do. I'm not gonna worry about you. I ain't gonna sweat it. We gonna keep it moving. We don't have time for bad energy. We keep the bad energy away from us. And the same way that we apply that to our personal lives, I apply that shit to the major scale. We keeping the bad energy away. You're an anti-black person and you're fighting another anti-black person. Well, then this black person is gonna sit this motherfucker out. Simple mathematics, it ain't hard to understand. Do you and I'm gonna do me. That's that. So we don't need to care about anything. The only folks out here caring are the same motherfuckers out here telling us that Kamala Harris is really a sister, out here telling us Joe Biden was gonna save us from racism. It's the same cast of characters. You already knew their answer before they gave it. That's what happens when someone has a battery in their back. These Negro puppets, you could tell their next move before they even thought of it. Because all you got to do is understand what a Sambo do and then watch the Sambos do it. And that's what you see. The same way back in the day, you had a bunch of motherfuckers who want to go to war so they can impress masses. Oh yeah, they used to say, maybe if I goes to wars and I fights real goods, I comes back and massa give me one of them white women's. That same motherfucker back then in the day is the same motherfucker right here. It's the vote blue no matter who crowd. It's the all lives matter crowd. Them are the people always trying to tell black folks how to act. And them trying to tell us to care about the Ukraine. That's wrong. I stand with anything that's right and I stand against anything that's wrong. Well, what about anti-black racism? Oh, it's getting better. It ain't that bad. You see how they flip-flop? Over here, it's concern, it's focus, and it's emotion. When it comes to us, it's dismissal, not giving a fuck, and not caring. Well, guess what? If you want to not give a fuck and not care, you do not want to have that test with me. Because I will not give a fuck and not care and guarantee you my shit go further than theirs. And that's how I feel about any conflict that does not involve foundational black Americans. Our plight and our future will not be derailed because we got to go shed crocodile tears for another group. Especially another group that don't give a damn about us. That just ain't happening, not on our motherfucking B1 watch. That ain't happening. Especially when you know the history. I want you to study the historical consistencies about the role that blacks have been allowed to play in the military. If you examine it, you'll come to find out that black folks in America are only allowed to serve in war in one capacity. That is a fighter. Blacks are not allowed to go up the totem pole at all. We can never have a leadership position in war. We can never have a commanding position in war. We can never fight a war that determines our plight, our future, or our destiny. We can only be a fighter. You go to the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, Vietnam, World War I, World War II, Iraq War, Afghanistan War, every single war, a black person never rose above the ranks of being a fighter. So AKA, when it comes to picking up the weapons and doing all the heavy lifting and the hard work like fighting, blacks can come on in. But if it comes to a black person really calling shots and having some actual power, then they stop them at the door. Now, do you see the historical consistencies? The same way black folks were over here doing all the heavy lifting, picking all the cotton, picking all the sugar cane, and not benefiting from it. It's the same way black folks was picking up the weapon, throwing on the uniform, doing all the fighting, and they didn't benefit from it. The slave labor relationship is activated in every corridor of American society, where everyone gains and black people do the dirty work. And it won't stop until black folks say, oh, we gonna do the work. We just gonna keep it all for our goddamn self. And the best way to do that is reparations. Stay focused on reparations, stay focused on that money, stay focused on that check. Do not be derailed by no war. Do not be derailed by conflict. Do not be derailed by other countries, CNN, ABC, the news, propaganda. Do not be derailed by any of that. Stay focused on them damn zeros. Stay focused on them dollar bills. We will not achieve our goals by trying to clean up somebody else's house. And if you look at it, that's how we're always positioned in America. Tell me the last war we ever went to that was about us, that we made some type of self-determination in. No, it's always W versus W, dominant society versus dominant society. It's dominant society North versus dominant society South. Civil War. It's dominant society America, dominant society England. Revolutionary War. Or it's dominant society America versus dominant society Soviet Union. The Cold War. And that's all this is right now. This ain't nothing but W on W crime. They talk about, what about Chicago? What about the Ukraine and Russia? Shit, I'm seeing dominant society on dominant society crime every day on TV. I don't even see Chicago. I see the Ukraine. I don't see Baltimore. I see Russia. Are y'all okay? Do y'all need help? Do you come from a broken home? Do you need to talk to someone? Don't worry about us. You need to worry about your own fucking problems in your own household. And that's it. It's their household, and it ain't got nothing to do with us. And black folks, like I said, are always trying to clean up someone else's house. Have you ever noticed that in war, in conflicts, black folks can only play a chess piece? That's all it is. It's basically like a video game. The dominant society's got the controller and he's hitting the buttons and blacks is doing all the work. They don't go to war with each other, fighting each other. They go to war with each other using us to do the fighting. Damn, let me say that one more time. I gotta run that back. That was a real one quote, straight from the top. They don't go to war with each other, fighting each other. They go to war with each other using us to do the fighting. It's like a fucking video game. You ain't in the video game throwing them punches. No, you got the fucking remote in your hand. And the damn video game characters doing all that. That's how they play with us. One motherfucker got this remote, one motherfucker got this remote, and they sitting there hitting the buttons, and whoever wins that wins the war. But the motherfucker doing all the fighting was us. That's why black folks need to step the fuck back and withdraw. And one thing you need to always know about their wars and any conflict they ever have, they're only fighting to see who's going to be the supreme supremacist. What version of supremacy is going to reign supreme? They don't have these conflicts that go on for years and they hate each other. They get up, dust off, and shake each other's hand. That's what they do. And they say, may the best supremacist win. And whoever the supremacist is who won, he's in control. And then they'll reconvene, have another conflict in a couple years, and that supremacy will be in control. Everything they do has something to do with supremacy when it deals with the world. Why you think it doesn't have something to do with supremacy when they deal with each other? Supremacy is in that room even when they're talking amongst themselves. Supremacy is in that room even when they're fighting amongst themselves, and supremacy is in that room even when we're not there. So when you look at the two different agendas and the two different objectives, you'll come to find out that the dominant society, they fight on which master is the best, and black folks fight for which master's team they on. That's it. And you got to know your history. See, the civil rights era, it started when black folks came home from World War II. They were on that with maybe we show some respect and fight hard, they'll love us. And black folks were coming home from World War II, getting their ass whipped in their uniforms. Straight up, there were a lot of black folks who were ex-military soldiers in Selma on that bridge, getting beat down. Black folks were serving America, coming home, and getting snatched off buses. So you seen that was bullshit. The same way we don't get our proper etiquette now is the same way they didn't get their proper etiquette then. Joe Louis, the old boxer from Detroit. All my boxing fans know what I'm talking about. Joe Louis hated Muhammad Ali. Why did he hate Muhammad Ali? Because Joe Louis was all for the war. He didn't stand up for his people and say, man, fuck that, I'm staying home, like Muhammad Ali did. Muhammad Ali said, no, I ain't going. And it took his career away from him. Joe Louis, he was one of those don't rock the boats. So he went to World War II. And what happened? He went to World War II. He fought a couple people from Germany. He was used as a race war pawn, which they do all the time. And then when he came home to America, he was treated like the rest of us. And he died broke. No money. Muhammad Ali, he didn't go to war. He stood 10 toes down. He represented his community and he died a hero. Big difference. Big difference. And that's what's happening. Black folks have been fighting outside of this country to free everyone but themselves. You will free somebody in another country, come here and can't even use the same water faucet? Nah, bruh. The same way we fought for immigrant rights here for everybody else is the same way we fought abroad for freedom for everybody else. And the same groups that we helped outside of America, they come here and call us the N-word. They didn't come here with no return love. Remember now, a lot of these tethers who are coming over here, disrespecting foundational black Americans, a lot of foundational black American soldiers were in their country giving them freedoms. So not only have we provided a country for them to flee to, we also were traveling over there, helping liberate them in their own country that they couldn't liberate their damn selves. And this the motherfucking thanks we get. Well, if that's the thank you we get, then this gonna be the fuck 'em they get. Fuck them. Moving on. The race war pawn, in which they always try to use us for, that's the same thing that happened in Vietnam. Black folks were put purposely on the front line of Vietnam. That's why they were getting taken out at some of the highest rates. Look at the Tuskegee Airmen. Same thing. Look what happened to them. Look what happened to the soldiers after Vietnam. Look what happened to the soldiers who came home from World War II and started the civil rights era. We got receipts, baby. It's the same thing over and over. So when we're not getting credit for wars we fought in, how the fuck we gonna give some type of credence to a war we ain't got nothing to do with? It don't make no sense. Like we said earlier, they're willing to celebrate a Southern Confederate racist treasonous general just because he's a W. And they're not willing to celebrate the first person that gave his life for America because he's black. That tells you all you need to know. And after black folks think they're accepted, and after black folks think they're on the good side, they'll come to find out that those two dominant society members who were just fighting each other yesterday, both of them don't like your ass. Both of them are anti-black, and they're going to shake hands and team back up at the end. That's exactly what happened with the Civil War. During the Civil War, black folks thought they were going to go to the North, receive acceptance, and be free. As soon as that goddamn war was over, the North and the South realized that they was W brothers again, hugged, made up. Then the North told the South, you can have them blacks, good luck. And black folks was down South stuck. Because when it comes down to it, they're both on the same team, team supremacy. Yo ass was just a pawn, stuck between W on W crime. That's it. Don't ever get your ass stuck between W on W crime. Black folks was out here being a pawn and mistaking it for a brother until they got that dose of reality, and it's always after the war is over. And you see it right now. That dosage of reality is coming down hard on their ass. Did y'all see the way the Ukrainians are treating Africans? They went around for a whole fucking year and told you, oh, be nice to the Ukrainians. It's so bad. Oh, you gotta help them. You gotta be there for them. And then you see them motherfuckers ain't so nice to Africans. They beating on them. They evicting them. They won't let them come in. They won't let them go out. They're shaking them down. They're starving them. And what for? Oh, I thought these were the Ukrainians that black Americans should team up with. I thought these were the Ukrainians that we need to put our reparations on hold to go help. Matter of fact, let's take the reparations money, like Joe Biden is doing, $300+ million and more, and shit that probably ain't even gonna be on the books. Nonetheless, let's take all the foundational black American reparations money and let's go give it to the Ukrainians. And now you're seeing the way the Ukrainians feel about black folks. Go ask the Africans. Because Africans is over there getting roughed up. And it's funny though, because a lot of those Africans, they're skipping over how the Ukrainians are treating them, and they over here worrying about us. So it's a double fuck. You got the motherfuckers on this side telling you to be their friend and be nice to the Ukrainians while the Ukrainians is whooping your ass. And then you got the motherfuckers on this side who are over here overlooking that, focused on my paycheck. It's a dirty game, y'all, and we just playing it how it go. Be one for life. So at the end of the day, you got to realize, just because dominant society member A and dominant society member B are fighting against each other, that doesn't mean either one of them like yo ass. Matter of fact, I'll take it a step further. I'll tell you that every war on the planet is just a war between anti-black versus anti-black. Anti-black racism is the thing that connects the world. Anti-black racism is alive and well in every single country and every single continent. So therefore, any continent or country that goes to war, they're bringing their anti-blackness with them. If a motherfucker don't get it yet, then they ain't never gonna get it. But us FBA, we been had it. That's why we stay on top all day. Make sure you subscribe to the channel too. But we gonna keep unpacking because that's what it is. And that's the main thing that we need to focus on. The anti-black race war is priority number one. It's the only war that matters. The only war that needs to have our concern is the only war that's always concerned about us. It's concerned about us when we walking down the street. It's concerned about us when we going to the job. It's concerned with us when we're with our family. It's concerned with our kids when they're going to get some Skittles or coming home from the store or got a little toy fucking gun. This anti-black race war has outlived every other war that you could think of. They'll have their moments, they'll come and go. That shit'll go up, it'll go down, but this stays the same. Let me give you some real game. If you look at it this way, the anti-black race war is the only war that you know your kids is gonna have to deal with. The only one. All these other conflicts like the Ukraine and the Soviet Union, that's some shit that'll have its time. It'll be out the news. I guarantee you that shit'll be out the news and they'll be talking about Kim Kardashian by summertime. Trust me, summer is coming, and when that sun comes up, this story's gonna go that way. The anti-black race war never goes away, and that's why we'll never stop empowering ourselves, because we hit different, y'all. We in a whole different league. We walk with a different step. So for this to be the main war that's ever went on the planet, the one that's never went away, the 100+ year war, don't talk to me about nothing else. We're dealing with the same anti-black war that our ancestors were dealing with. We're dealing with the same anti-black war that our grandkids that we'll never meet are going to deal with. Can't nobody else say that. We in a whole different zone. And since we in a whole different zone and we deal with a whole different issue, then we gonna move in a whole different way. B1. And B1's gonna stay on code. B1's gonna get them reparations. And above all, B1's gonna stay undefeated. Damn right. Salute to everybody out there. Y'all stay living your best black experience. And remember, If your black experience ain't pissing these motherfuckers off, then you ain't rocking it right. So rock that motherfucker the right way. As the whole game goes, we all been living this anti-black race war. We've been living it for 400 plus. You're living it, I'm living it, we're all living it. But let me tell you something, we're doing pretty goddamn good too. Because the facts are evident if you open your eyes. Other people, they can't handle what we've been through. They can't walk down that line that we walk. Not at all. If you see how other people are reacting to their issues, fleeing, hiding, running, ducking, dodging, trying to come over to us, we don't have to do none of that. You don't see us out here with a damn sign saying somebody help me. You don't see that from FBAs. You don't see us out here trying to hustle other people to get their money. You don't see that from FBAs. You don't see us out here trying to make fake friends and fake allies because we need someone to come pick us up. We pick ourselves up. We dust ourselves off. We hold that B1 up high and we salute that. And I salute it to all of y'all. I love you with a passion. Y'all keep holding shit down and doing your thing. I see you. Please stay safe out there. From Foundational Black America, this is the Black Alpha Network. One love. And remember, black is beautiful and beautiful is black.